We have the sentencing memorandum for Christopher Quaglin, and yes, Freedom Corner gets a mention, which if you don't recognize Christopher Quaglin, you might have watched some Freedom Corner protests, and while someone is speaking on the phone, the person holding the phone just kind of goes. Well, that would be most likely Christopher Quaglin speaking. He just keeps going and going. Now, what did he do? Well, according to the government, Christopher Joseph Quaglin was among the most violent of the January 6 rioters. He viciously assaulted numerous officers, and this court convicted him of 6 counts of assault, 2 counts of robbery, obstruction of the congressional certification vote, and other offenses. Now, what do they want him to get? 168 months of incarceration, and they make it clear this is the bottom end of the range calculated by the government. They are not wanting lower than 168 months, and they're going to have quite a bit of evidence. 3 years of supervised release, $2,000 in restitution, and an $82,000 fine, and a mandatory $1,220 special assessment. Now, what type of evidence do they have to show that he, doesn't have remorse? Well, let's take a look here. It says, even after the stipulated trial, Quaglin has publicly denounced his part in the riot. I'm assuming they mean has not publicly denounced, and failed to take responsibility for his actions, repeatedly claiming that January 6 prosecutions are illegitimate and he was coerced into taking a plea. For example, Quaglin has publicly stated things like, I just pled guilty to 14 felonies that I didn't commit, and the DOJ can suck my unintelligible. The court needs to get rid of the tyrannical government like the weaponized DOJ and FBI prosecuting January 6 defendants. At sentencing, he intends to renege everything and go to trial. And if he is not given a new trial, he will go off the hinges at sentencing. He signed the plea under duress, and this is a fun one. Even as recently as January 19, 2024, Quaglin publicly spoke about the next time people would storm the Capitol, and he said he would go out with a bang here. I have that clip for you. And if you haven't watched that clip, it is golden. It is golden. What ends up happening is Quaglin, let me read you the exact quote. You know what? Listen. I'm going to go out with a bang here. I'm going to say, you know what, Patriots, next time you want to storm a Capitol, and at this point, Mickey yanks the phone away from the microphone. You can still hear him talking, so Mickey definitely knows what he said, and she seems very worried and tries to talk him down. Link in the pinned comments. Now, the government can do some other stuff from his calls. Remember, he does a lot of calls, so you can actually go and look up quite a few things. Another instance would be, there was violence in the J6 pod, and he laughed about a lock of hair mixed in with blood on the ground. The government can find that very easily if they want to argue that he still isn't denouncing violence either. Yeah, it's going to be very, very fun at sentencing, considering, remember, he plans to go off the hinges. Yeah, I don't think the judge is going to be happy if he tries to go off the hinges.